Listen, I have seen a lot of stupid things in my 300 cycles as a cultural observer for the Galactic Council. I have watched species try to negotiate with predators. I have seen civilizations collapse because someone forgot to read the fine print on a trade agreement. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, prepared me for the sheer audacity of humanity. My name is Vorel, and I should have retired 50 cycles ago. It started on Station Kepler-9, a neutral trading post where species from across 12 sectors gathered to exchange goods, information, and the occasional insult. The station hummed with activity that day, merchants shouting prices in 17 different languages, the smell of exotic foods mixing into something that could charitably be called aromatic. I was enjoying a nice cup of fermented kelp extract when the alarms went off. Not the regular alarms, mind you. These were the special ones. The ones that meant something with teeth and claws had gotten loose. The crowd scattered like sand in a windstorm. Stalls overturned. Credits scattered across the floor. And through the chaos came the sound that made every intelligent being within 3 sectors freeze in primal terror. The roar of a Krellian battle cub. Actually, make that 3 Krellian battle cubs. Now, if you are not familiar with Krellians, let me paint you a picture. Adult Krellians stand 4 meters tall, have 6 limbs ending in claws that can shred titanium, and possess a bite force that makes black holes look gentle. Their cubs? Slightly smaller, just as deadly, and about as trainable as a supernova. The cubs bounded into the main plaza, their silvery fur standing on end, their multiple eyes glowing with that particular shade of orange that meant they were terrified and ready to kill anything that moved. Behind them, their handler, a Krellian warrior named Thex, was frantically trying to activate a containment field while simultaneously screaming warnings in broken galactic common. Stay back. Very danger. They fear smell. No approach. Everyone with half a brain was already running. The Valerian merchants teleported out immediately. The Sixian traders sealed themselves in their environmental suits. Even the station security drones retreated to a safe distance, their programming apparently deciding that self-preservation beat protocol today. But then, because the universe has a twisted sense of humor, 2 humans walked around the corner point too. Humans. The female was tall, with dark skin and hair pulled back in what humans call a ponytail. Her uniform marked her as Lieutenant Maya Torres, security detail from the human merchant vessel, Reckless Optimism. Yes, that was actually the ship's name. Humans name their vessels like they name their children, with hope and complete disregard for reality. The male was shorter, stockier, with pale skin already turning red from the station's atmospheric settings. His name tag read, Officer Ben Kowalski. He had the look of someone who had seen too much and cared too little. They saw the cubs. They saw Thex frantically waving them away. They saw the cleared plaza and the obvious signs of panic, and they walked closer. Torres, Kowalski said, his voice remarkably calm for someone approaching certain death. Those are Krellian cubs. I can see that, Ben. We were specifically warned about Krellian cubs in the station briefing. I remember. The briefing used the phrase extremely lethal 4 times. 5 times, actually. You fell asleep during the 5th warning. I watched this exchange from behind my overturned table, my beverage forgotten, my survival instincts screaming at me to run, but my curiosity keeping me frozen in place. This was it. This was how humanity ended. 2 representatives of their species, about to be torn apart by frightened predators, and they were arguing like they were deciding what to have for lunch. The cubs noticed them. All 3 turned, their attention locking onto the humans like targeting computers. Their lips pulled back, revealing teeth that evolution had designed specifically for murder. A low growl rumbled from their throats, the kind of sound that speaks directly to the primitive brain and says run or die. The humans stopped walking. For a moment, I thought sanity had prevailed. They would back away slowly. They would let the professionals handle it. They would live to see another day. Then Torres crouched down. She actually crouched down, making herself smaller, more vulnerable. Her hand extended slowly, palm up, fingers relaxed. She made a soft clicking sound with her tongue. Hey there, she said, her voice gentle, calm. It's okay. Nobody here wants to hurt you. Thex's frantic warnings became unintelligible screeching. The largest cub, the one with a distinctive white patch over one eye, took a step forward. Then another. Its claws scraped against the metal floor, each step deliberate, predatory. The other two cubs flanked it, moving in a coordinated pattern that spoke to pack hunting instincts refined over millions of years of evolution. Kowalski moved to stand beside Torres, also lowering himself down. Maya, if we die, I am going to be really annoyed. Noted. The lead cub was 3 meters away now. 2 meters. Close enough that I could see its muscles bunching under its fur, preparing to strike. Torres did not move. Did not flinch. Just kept that hand extended, kept making those soft sounds. The cub stopped half a meter from her hand and sniffed. The cub's nostrils flared, taking in Torres's scent. Its eyes, all 6 of them, blinked in sequence. The growling stopped. Just stopped. Like someone had flipped a switch in its brain from kill mode to confused mode. Then it did something that made every xenobiologist in the galaxy simultaneously spit out their drinks. It pressed its massive head into Torres's palm. "Oh," Torres said softly, her voice carrying across the silent plaza. "Oh, you are just scared, aren't you? Just babies far from home." The other 2 cubs, seeing their leader make contact without immediate death, crept forward. One nuzzled against Kowalski, nearly knocking him over with enthusiasm. The third one, the smallest, made a sound that I can only describe as a purr. A purr that vibrated the deck plates beneath our feet. Kowalski scratched behind the cub's auditory ridges. "They are kind of cute, actually. Ben, they have 16 teeth specifically designed to pierce armor plating. Yeah, but look at this one. He likes ear scratches." Thex had stopped screaming. The massive Krellian warrior just stood there, all 4 arms hanging limply at his sides, his translator unit smoking slightly from overuse. When he finally spoke, his voice came out as a whisper. This not possible. Cubs trust no one outside pack bond. Is biological impossibility." Torres looked up at him while continuing to pet the cub, which had now rolled onto its back like an oversized, heavily armed puppy. They were scared. They just needed someone to stay calm around them. You insane?" Thex managed. "They kill anything that approach when frightened. Is instinct. Is apparently not applying here." Kowalski finished, now surrounded by all 3 cubs who were competing for his attention. "Look, I am not complaining, but I am also very aware that we might be one wrong move from becoming a light snack." I finally found my courage and stood up, though I kept the table between myself and the impossible scene before me. Other beings were starting to emerge from hiding, their expressions ranging from shock to disbelief to what I can only call existential confusion that a Sixian researcher pulled out a scanning device, her tentacles trembling. The cub's stress hormones are dropping. Rapidly. This should not be happening. Krellian cubs imprint on their birth pack only. They reject all others with extreme violence. Torres shrugged, still petting. Maybe they just needed someone who was not afraid of them. But everyone should be afraid of them, the researcher insisted. They are designed to be feared. The human smiled, and there was something in that expression that made me understand why humanity had survived long enough to reach the stars despite having no natural armor, no claws, no venom, and reaction times that would embarrass a sedated sloth. It was not that humans were unaware of danger. They saw it just fine. They just decided it was not their problem. Station security finally arrived, a full tactical team armed with weapons that could stop a charging Krellian adult. They took one look at the scene, specifically at 2 humans being used as climbing structures by 3 supposedly feral battle cubs, and their team leader simply lowered his weapon. "I am not filling out this report," he said flatly. "Someone else can explain this to command." Thex approached slowly, cautiously, like he was approaching a bomb that might explode at any moment. You teach me this? How you do?" "Do what?" Kowalski asked, his voice muffled because a cub was licking his face with a tongue the size of a dinner plate. "Make cubs trust. This changed everything for Krellian cub transport. We lose many handlers to cub fear aggression. If humans can calm cubs," Torres stood, though one cub immediately protested and wrapped a limb around her leg. "We did not really do anything special. Just treated them like they were scared kids instead of monsters." "But they are monsters," someone in the crowd shouted. The smallest cub's head snapped toward the voice, a low growl building in its throat. Torres immediately placed her hand on its head. "Hey, none of that. They are just words." The cub settled. Immediately, I saw the moment understanding rippled through the crowd. Saw the moment everyone realized what this meant. Humans had not just calmed Krellian battle cubs through some trick or technology. They had done it through empathy, through choosing to see frightened children instead of deadly predators. And the cubs had responded. Over the next hour, more humans arrived. Word had spread through the station faster than a reactor breach. They came with blankets, with food, with toys designed for human children that the cubs immediately loved. They sat with the cubs, played with them, talked to them in soft voices. Thex stood beside me, watching his charges, who were now completely relaxed, playing a game that involved chasing a rolling ball and colliding with each other in ways that would have totaled a transport shuttle. In 300 cycles, he said quietly, I never see cubs this calm away from home nest. Never. Humans are terrifying, I replied, sipping my now cold beverage. Why? They have no weapons, no armor. So fragile. Exactly. They are fragile. They know they are fragile. And they chose to approach apex predators anyway because they thought those predators needed comfort. I gestured toward Torres, who was now teaching a cub to play fetch. That is not bravery, Thex. That is something much more dangerous. What? Weaponized compassion. By the time the cub's transport ship was repaired, they refused to leave without the humans. Specifically, they refused to leave without Torres and Kowalski. They sat by the docking port, making sad sounds that cracked reinforced glass, ignoring Thex's increasingly desperate attempts to load them. Torres and Kowalski ended up accompanying the cubs all the way to the Krellian homeworld. They returned 3 months later as honorary pack members of the Krellian royal family that I put in my retirement papers the next day. Some things you just cannot explain in a report. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.